Hello, doing another live play video of our new game. It's not really got a name, I guess. 3-1, no limit hold'em. So you start with 3 cards, discard 1, and then you play from there. So it's a really cool game. There's more action. People generally say it's pretty crazy. It's a lot more fun than no limit hold'em, and in some ways it's a little bit like PLO in a sense that hand values sort of go down a bit, but seeing as you only have 2 cards post flop, people's ranges are going to be quite defined on rivers, so I think that actually makes it better than the kind of crazy stuff that can happen in PLO. That being said, I'm sure PLO is a great game, and it's a lot of fun. The swings and the variance is just too crazy, so I prefer no limit hold'em. Hold'em's more about dominating hard exploits and just playing fundamentally sound, whereas I feel like PLO can be a little bit of a gambling game. Although, no limit hold'em is still a gambling game, but you can approach it in a way where you are printing money in spots, and that's generally what we're here doing. So just one of the things I've noticed about this game is that because people generally discard their lowest card, range is going to be a bit tighter. I think 6s is pretty much the bottom of my range there, and I want to get this pot heads up with the fish. A lot of flops you're just going to check fold or get out flopped, and you might even be going to the flop dominated as well, so I don't mind. This is a pretty good board. I'm going to bet big. I don't expect to get called very often, but when we do get called, he's probably going to have a good top pair, and hopefully we can get stacks in. I see no reason to slow down here. We don't need to bet huge. And yeah, hopefully, I was looking to boat up on the river. I think with the heart in our hand, it reduces the number of combos of flushes he can have. And if a 4th heart comes, it's going to be pretty dicey. Like, do I value bet and then only get called by better? Because, that tight guy is probably going to be playing pretty nutted. But yeah, I think if he's got 2 pair or like ace king with the king of hearts, I want to get calls from those hands. He's pretty much kept his range here. I think we can bluff like pretty frequently here for half pot versus a cap range. And yeah, so what I was saying about the way that this game plays is that ranges are going to be pretty nutted pre-flop, and you do need to be careful with your hands. Like, what would normally be like a slam dunk all in hold'em is not necessarily the case in this game, but it's pretty similar. Like, it's just people are going to have hands more frequently, and I'm going to be squeezing here with the ace queen offsuit. I'd be more inclined to call, and like, you could call pocket fours, but I'm just not playing the baby pairs, and that's been going pretty well for me. A lot of the time you get set over set and you just put money in. Okay, so that would have been a nice board, but whether we get to the river, I don't know. So I've been playing for a while on these tables earlier, and they were a lot softer. We've got a reg on each of the tables, which is okay, and some worse regs. Now, I think some of the things that I've learnt about this game in my couple of days of playing it have been pretty valuable in like hand selection pre-flop, and can help in some post-flop decisions. Like, if you get dealt like ace king king, then you can definitely be more confident that when there's raises pre-flop, it's 50% less likely that somebody has aces, because you've discarded an ace. So that that helps things like well, we're 75 big blinds here. I'll take the ace king. I can raise here pretty easily. I think he's gonna have like stuff like 8-9 or he's all in. It's I think we have to call it off now. He has top set, so we have a set. That's good, and we hold. So yeah, that's and what's this guy here? It doesn't fold very much. I think my hand's gonna be crushing his calling range here. Like queens, aces, kings, queens. I think he just gets it in pre-flop. So the other pairs, don't have to worry about that too much. Play Jack 9. Why not? I don't really want to be playing a huge pot, but I could have folded, considering that Clever is a pretty solid reg. He's been known to bluff all in with like some kind of draws, and I don't mind calling here because we are deep. I flop a straight, so that's good news. And a check here. I probably I'm just gonna bet small here. I think he might raise with like anything decent. And we can definitely keep betting. He can have sets. He can have like ace king, ace of clubs. And now we lose to sets, which is pretty shit. So shove. What do we beat? We beat ace king with the king of clubs turned into a bluff. We lose to ace jack. We lose to all clubs like ace queen of clubs. He can have tens, kings, and queens. But I think I'm going to bluff catch here. Aces. Yeah. So. Yeah, so he was. I think he was putting me on 2 pair. And we bluff river here. What's this? We are under the gun. This board's good for our range. We got backdoor draws, so I'm just going to bet small. I'll take the ace queen with 80 bigs. This is a once and done situation, unless it queen. There's not really any good cards here. And I'd normally see bet this board, and I think I probably should have, but this Thanos guy is just a bit of a he's a bit passive, so I can realize my equity against him. So what's going on here? I've raised. I'm gonna go for max value here. Just bet like 80% pot. If he jams, it's a slam dunk call. Easy fold here. Jams, all right. Tens. I don't know what you're doing there, mate, but that is not good poker. And we win 1. We win 2. So yeah, things are going pretty well. Yeah, I'll take ace queen. So I think from like I'll call on this occasion. I would normally 3-bet it, but this Rogue guy is basically a kind of weak, tight-ish. Wow. Okay, that's easy to play. How do we get the money in? Because like he should have the kings and the queens and stuff like that. So folding here. I'll call. If he's got kings, then we should be winning a decent sized pot here. It doesn't make much sense raising here because like he could easily have an ace, but we do want to build the pot. If If he's got kings, he might just think that we're bluffing. He could just think we have a jack. No, he folds. Alright, well. Yeah, he probably would have put more money in if we let him continue barreling. Like, the only thing we're going to win a big pot from there is kings. And even still, I think, yeah, I feel like I should have gone with the 3-bet pre-flop, but I was saying that sometimes you can call those hands, sometimes you can raise. That's a pretty wet board. I'm going to go for value here, just to protect against draws, and like Queen Jack is like a hand you could float there, so you bet bigger, it kind of rules that out. Gonna go for a bigger squeeze here. We are deeper, and we have a fish in the hand as well. I expect him to 4-bet anything from like ace king, probably queens. He just flats, so that's pretty good. I think that board is better for his range. So I'm going to start with 1/3. And there's 4 checks here. Going to go with a check bet. Probably bet, take it down. I think so. Maybe he had like ace king, ace queen. I think he should float those hands on the flop. I'll call once. I don't know if he'd be betting an 8 here, but he can have some hands. So versus pot size bet and then check. I think I can actually go for value here, but we don't want to go too big. He folds, so well, I don't know what he had there. Must have just been a desperate stab. I'll take the king 3 suited over, what was the other option? Oh, king 6 off, yeah. I mean, I think limping is fine here. I can always limp call. I think it's pretty bad play in general, but we've got we're deep. So if I was going to be racing to isolate, and then someone 3-bets, I wouldn't want to be priced out. So just keep the pot small for now. See a flop. Same over here. Probably fold 10-8 in all honesty. And just not folding here. Yeah, so my approach in these games is play pretty tight, but also play hands that have good implied odds. You could say that King 3 has reverse implied odds, being dominated to the ace X of clubs, but you know, we can still get value from the flushes. We can hit 2-pair, and you know, like a King 3-5 board, they got ace king, like it's going to be a decent pot for us. Barrel quite liberally here. We got gut shot, backdoor flush draw, so his continuing range is a little bit blocked here. If he does continue, it's stuff like we block his strong queen X, so hard for him to continue with like king 10 there, versus a large sizing as well. Yeah, that hand with the on this table with the jack 9 of spades calling a 3-bet, and then he checks the flop on king queen 10. I think that if he had pocket kings, pocket queens, pocket 10s, he would most certainly be betting that with the flush draw available, and so that's a nice hand, but it's actually kind of bad that we have a king that we discarded, because it's less likely that somebody had kings and we'll be getting a lot of money in pre-flop. But yeah, like I think he would have bet those I think we'll just go a little bit smaller because we do want action. And call here, set mine. Here, it makes sense to check aces with the ace of clubs on the king queen 10 board because you can call any turn. You can call the flop, obviously. So it's a good hand to have in your checking range. And I don't mind the jam as a bluff there. I don't think that he thought he was bluffing because the river pairing the board meant that he now beats king queen. I think we have to call once here. And small bet for blind versus blind. Calls a 3-bet, donks into 2 people, gets called. Easy fold here. Yeah, I'm going to let it go here. It might be a bit tight, but I definitely think that we are behind the Angus player. Okay, so he flop it straight. Yeah, like, people don't just do that with, like, king, queen, king of spades, or, like, ace 10, ace of spades. Especially, well, I mean, there's not really a good reason to do it if you were a good player, and when fish do that, they've got the money and they're worried that, like, a spade can come and, like, maybe it checks through and then they don't know what to do if someone bets, so, like, they feel like they can't bet it themselves, so they just donk, and it makes it very easy to play against these people because they are sort of playing their hand face up, which is not what you want to be doing. You want to be looking at your range in that spot and playing like playing your range. So you might have hand categories that you put into different bet sizings or different lines, and when you play like that, it's very hard for people to get like exact reads on where you might be at in your range. This is closer than, like, I could normally fold here, even with the short stacker here. I don't mind a call. Yeah. I'm just going to flat the ace-3. I could isolate again, but, you know. Okay, having not flush draw in position is good. I'm just going to fold queen, so yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Raise a flop there. I'm going to go a bit bigger here. Doesn't seem like anyone has much. But we want to be putting money in now because if we do hit, we want the pot to be bigger. If we do check and try and hit our draw, and the turn's a king of diamonds, well, we do bet then. Or say someone bets, we call, we are behind, putting money in bad. So yeah, better to just bet now when checked to. And if we get raised here, we can obviously call. I don't think I want to re-raise in position. Maybe if I was out of position, I'd 3-bet the flop. Okay, well, a king did come. And I can't imagine this guy to be too strong. I think he's got like maybe a weak pair at best. That makes it pretty easy when he leads into me. I don't see any reason to raise. And I think we got a shove on the river. If he checks, I'll probably just bet something. Have to decide. So he's pretty so he's either got nothing or I have to think about it. So what does he lead the turn with? Maybe like king jack. Queen 10. He's either got nothing or he's got a flush, so I'm just gonna go all in, hope he calls. Yeah, so I don't think there was much point to bet small. Like, okay, if he had a king 10 or something, like maybe king queen of diamonds, or should be a fold. If he had like king 10 of diamonds, I don't think he's going to call much of a bet on the river anyway. So when he is trying to be fancy and he's just like let out with a flush, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, that's a nice board. I can call here, we're deep with the button, so I would raise this board, but I think that versus that player type, he's very inclined to just like 3-bet all in with a good ace. What have we got? 8 here into 20. We're not really getting the right odds, and oh shit, what am I doing here? Yeah, we weren't really getting the right odds, and there wasn't much behind. If the diamond comes, our outs could be tainted. He could just have like ace 5 of hearts, ace 5 of diamonds, and 6, 7. Yeah, it's a pretty easy fold. He should have some bluffs there from a theoretical perspective, but I'll take the ace 8 suited. And yeah, range betting here, obviously it's not great to have second pair when there's an ace on the board. He's called a big raise, but don't mind checking the turn here and checking the river. He might bluff with like king queen, or not bluff at all. Yeah. Okay, that's actually a good card to continue barreling on. Hard for him to call with queen jack, queen 9. I'm gonna give up on the river. I'm making a video. Alright, well, I'm gonna wrap it up. Keep it short. It's just annoying to upload huge files to YouTube. This guy can be a pain in the ass. Pardon? Yeah, sure.